So hello and welcome. This is the Erica Glessing Show. And today I have two beautiful guests with me. I'm so excited. And they are from a different country than me. So I have Grace and Andrew. But Grace, tell us your full name and then where you're coming to us from.
Australia, Queensland, Australia. And it's Grace Hart. Hi, guys.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rigg. I'm a certified facilitator from Australia as well. So we're basically on the other side of the rock, so to speak.
So is it fall there? No.
Well, fall, autumn, yes.
Yeah, because it's spring here, so it's always the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did my when I did a honeymoon one time many years ago, I said, "Where is it snowing in July?" And she goes, "New Zealand." And I go, "Okay, cool. Book me a trip to New Zealand." And I went skiing in July. It was so much fun.
Cool.
New Zealand's beautiful.
I know, and there's a lot of sheep.
Yes, a lot of sheep. Yeah, count the sheep.
It was fun. It was a good time.
It's hard for them to stand out. It's like, I'm a different sheep. I know they all look the same, but I'm different. I'm going to stand out.
I've got a really bad joke.
I know.
I've got a really bad joke about Kiwis. What do Kiwi wear, wellies or gumboots?
I'm keeping quiet on this one. I know the answer.
So the sheep can't get away.
What?
So the sheep can't get away.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Bad Andrew.
So we're gonna have fun today. Oh my God, I can already tell we're got a little bit of mischief during this.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have got us together in the same kind of, interview. It's just going to go downhill, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, I think so.
In a really fun way.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's better. So Andrew, when one of the things we were talking about, like getting over this yourself, getting out of that thing of like I can't shine too bright, or I can't be too big, or I can't like show who I really am. And we were just kind of playing with that energy of that. What is that? What can people do if they're faced with kind of like they're feeling that they need to be more, but they're scared, or what?
For me, okay, this is something that I really had a lot of difficulty with most of my life. I stuttered for many years, and so obviously that has changed now. What the Access tools have given me is that when I go to that place, it's a prime opportunity for me to just start to expand my energy so that I'm not so contracted and being drawn into other people's stuff. When I'm expanded out, it is much easier for me to be me, as in to show up.
Yeah. So, Grace, did you hear what he was saying? Because I really like that concept of like taking yourself and kind of making yourself even bigger.
Yeah. I mean, I think this reality likes to kind of crush us and, make us feel dense. And it's really easy then to make your problems seem really solid. But when you expand out, it actually creates that energy where it puts into perspective that problem or issue that you thought you had, and it tends to just disappear energetically completely, especially if it's a lie. But yeah, that's a great thing, Andrew. That's something I play with as well, just expand out.
Yeah, I like that. I think one of the things that I've learned just kind of like as I make little baby steps forward is that I don't have to decide it all right now. Like, I don't have to make the one, when people say choose this, it's like, it isn't really choose this. It's choose this, choose this, choose this, choose this, choose this, choose this, choose this.
Yeah. Here's another choice.
What helps you guys when you're feeling kind of stuck, or when you're feeling kind of like you don't know what next move to make? What helps you? Andrew, you can start. This is fun.
Yeah. No, what helps me? Well, obviously the first thing of expanding out, but also looking at where the lie is. The lie that's stopping me from getting over this problem, this issue.
Wow.
And as Grace said, if you do that expansion exercise, if there's a lie there, it disappears. So that again, it's sort of they work together. In that it just expands, the lie disappears. So you can actually step into making that new choice.
Yeah. Where do we,
Yeah.
when you say the lie, I immediately just tuned into voices from my parents, or
Yeah.
I immediately heard the staying small type of voices.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
there's, sorry, Del, go.
no, go. Grace, go.
I was just saying that, there are all the lies, the points of views that we can hold on to keep us small. And, basically what Andrew was saying was spot on. It's like, what if everything that you kind of tune into that's heavy isn't true? And that's one of the tools I use. Basically, if it's heavy, it's a lie. If it's light, it's true for me. So if I find myself, feeling stuck, chances are it's heavy, and I just acknowledge it's a lie. And then I ask a question, what else is possible? How can I change this? What's required? Do I need to call somebody? I just get into really functional questions to get me out of that kind of funk of the lie.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. Grace, when you look at like having everything like working and having yourself just like being this like kind of shining so brightly that you walk into a room and like all the molecules just go, whoa. What do you think could help you like even have that happen faster, or even have that happen with more ease?
Yeah, for me, it's being me. When anyone is actually truly just being them, so they're not buying into the judgments that they maybe have perpetrated on themselves or other people have said about them, if they actually just show up as themselves, that is the most beautiful, sensual, exciting, juicy. That's the sort of person you do want to notice when they walk into a room. So I would just say, be really clear on what isn't you, and that's the heavy stuff, and actually show up no matter what anyone says. And what I've found is that the more I have stood out and, stepped up, you are aware of more judgment. And it's really easy to make that real and true and kind of shrink back. And all I want to say to people is, please don't. Please be you. And by being you, you do change the world. There's a great book, I think, called Be You, Changing the World.
Yeah, I think so.
There's some guy wrote it. I'm not remember his name right now.
Yeah.
As Grace was just talking about there, don't you become much more aware of other people's judgments and you don't shrink back. I actually did the shrinking back.
Same.
It wasn't fun.
No.
I have done that numerous times, and each time it occurs, I go, what am I doing? Can I just choose something else? Sometimes it can take me weeks to come out of that. But yeah, this is all like I suppose, an unlearning of everything that we've learnt before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I think I love that. In fact, I think one could just kind of write unlearn.
Yeah.
Big letters. So that when certain stuff shows up, you go, you know what? I'm going to unlearn that.
Yeah.
Immediately, when I look at Grace and I were just chatting earlier about on the planet right now, we're feeling this just up-leveling of
total expansion.
like expansion and psychic ability, right? And talking about spirit ability. And as that shows up in a different way than it ever has, you're face to face with those lies, Andrew. You're like, oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. This, I've been doing this thing Access for about 9, 10 years now.
Oh my goodness.
There was about 3 years where I wanted nothing to do with it. And that's where I really delved deeply into this self-judgment, is going back to what was.
Yeah.
And that wasn't fun at all. I saw my life tumbling down. I realized that I was buying into the lies and in other people's judgments and so on. But now I've turned that around to something even greater than it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Andrew, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that whole tail spinning piece, it's like, one thing I love about the Access tools is you don't have to get them all perfect. You don't have to perform them right. You don't have to like hit it every single time you feel this, use that tool and have no pain. It's like you can sort of like use them and then like fall on your butt and then like get up and then go, okay, that was interesting.
Yeah.
What's your, if you could have anything like in the next 12 months show up, like paint us like a little dream reality. Like pretend it's like 12 months from now and like everything has changed even more. Just give us a little insight into like what would be awesome sauce. I know that's not a normal question. I'm not a normal interviewer.
Well, no, I think that's a great question. It cut out a little bit. Are you asking me to tune in on yourself for the next 12 months? Is that what I heard? Or
for you, in this phantasmic world, paint a picture of 12 months from now where things have changed even more.
Cool. Are you talking? So, me personally, not the planets?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Well, for me, I'm actually interested in starting a revolution to educate, inspire, invite people to a different, totally different possibility. And the way that kind of that's passionate for me, that juices me, is to actually get people to get to that point where they realize everything's energy. And to actually change the energy of something will create the change in your life. So change the energy, change your life. So that's kind of where I would like to get people to realize that it's not about fixing problems or thinking their way out of something. What if you could just change the energy of it, choose something totally different? And I like to call it planet possibilities. So I guess for me, the next 12 months is an invitation to invite people to get out of planet problems and choose planet possibilities. And they're completely different energies. And you don't need to fix planet problems. You just need to hop on over to planet possibilities. So lots of travel fun, books, events, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
What I like about that, what I'm hearing you say is like, stop trying to psychoanalyze everything that happened to you your entire life. Like, stop jumping in the hole of why.
Yeah, has that been working?
Andrew, I'll throw it to you. What would be totally awesome in your life? Like, what could you invite or see happening in your world in the next year?
Okay, I got two things. The first thing that I would really like to change the reality of abuse on the planet. There is an incredible amount of abuse everywhere, and it is all just designed to control, limit, and stop people. I would like people to actually step up and be themselves, to not have to go through the intense amounts of abuse that they have. As to how to go about that, I don't have a good answer right now.
Yeah, but to have a kinder world.
Yeah. I did the abuse hold class, last year. I've done quite a few other things around abuse, and just when I see people starting to step out of that pattern of abuse into something great, it's really amazing. It's like they're not buying into the victim mentality anymore, and they really are stepping into being themselves. Yes.
Isn't it? I'm intrigued with like the place. I don't know where the question is in this, but where sensitives, because they understand those that are abused, can actually end up being abused.
Yeah.
Like because they can relate to the people because they're sensitive, so they can like take in and understand everything. What do you recommend for people with those kind of gifts where they can sense the abuse, but yet that not go into experiencing it as a surrogate or whatever?
Yeah, no. Well, you just, if there is any, first step is just don't go there. If you're in a relationship which is abusive, leave. If you're in a workplace, that's abusive, leave. Find something else. There is always something greater out there. But start choosing for you. Don't choose to stay in a relationship because you've got kids or something like that. If the relationship is abusive, you're staying there because you've got kids. Who's actually doing the abuse? Is it your partner or is it you? Are you staying there because are you perpetrating the abuse on you by not leaving? It's a different way of looking at it, rather than just seeing yourself as a victim all the time. If you're staying in a relationship which is abusive, from my point of view, you're perpetrating it upon yourself because you're not actually choosing something different.
Yeah, I think I know. I'm sure Grace and my minds are like going 17 million miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you're spot on. I mean, all these sensitive people that, you know, whether you call them empaths or whatever it is, what if they're incredibly aware? And one of the things that happens when you're incredibly aware is that you find yourself going into someone's reality. So in other words, leaving your reality and going into theirs. And usually why you do that is to try and understand what's going on, to try and get them out of that, whatever they're perpetrating on themselves or whatever you're sensing. And something I heard Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, say is, when you try to understand someone or understand something, you're putting yourself underneath it. And can you really create change? And the other thing is, when you know, especially empaths or sensitives, if you find yourself going into someone else's reality, can you actually create when you're in someone else's reality? And my interesting point of view is no. So the first thing, you know, as Andrew's saying, is get the fire truck out of there. If you're in someone else's reality, get yourself out of there and ask a question.
And for me, having gone through that myself, not being, it's just not really knowing how to leave, or not getting the courage to leave, or not afraid of the anger on the other side of leaving. And when I actually did get the courage to leave, and then there was 5 more years of abusive behavior, worse than when I was in it. And that's what I actually had perceived. And that's why I actually had not left before I left. So if you haven't left, to have a compassion for yourself also. Not to be beating yourself up because you haven't left, but what awareness have you had about leaving? And then being courageous to stand up for yourself to leave, but also to know that if something's showing up, it might not be wrong. Like, you might be perceiving some heavy ass crap on the other side of leaving. It doesn't mean leaving isn't required. It just means that your perceptions might not be off, that leaving is going to have with it all kinds of ramifications. I'm saying leave. But I'm saying if you're afraid to leave, don't discount your awareness.
Yeah, I mean, for me, with abuse, there can be this thought of, I need to reach a decision or work out exactly what to do. And it's kind of like that driving. You only need lights a little bit ahead of you. And so, you know, what else is possible here if you haven't got the courage to leave, or, you know, if something's sort of preventing you from leaving in that moment. But the thing that I love is exactly what you said, beautiful. It's like, be kind to yourself and get that when you get it, you get it. And that judgment is a real killer. You know, it's so easy to kind of project what you think might happen if you left. And a lot of times it is things like that. Like, I won't be able to do it. I won't have the money. It'll be more abusive than before. You know, it'll be years of court or whatever. We've got all these points of views that can really stick us. So just asking a question, if I choose this, what will it create? I love it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite questions.
I can't believe this call went here. It's funny because I've really been thinking a lot about this issue, and I wasn't going to talk about this on the show for another 2 months. We were going to do this so thank you for being so
Darn it, Andrew, you're just too aware.
Yeah, Andrew, you just read my mind. I love it. This is so much fun. You guys are awesome. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about your business and how people can find you, and if they want to work with you, what they would do.
Okay, I've got 2 businesses. One with my wife, Eri. So we can be contacted through our website, which is accessrig.com.au, or my own, which is it's an access-based business through a website there at andrewrigg.space. I like the dot space thing at the end. Because,
I do too. I like that too. That's awesome. Makes me feel like there's more space.
Absolutely. Yeah. So obviously, you know, I'm available to work with people worldwide. You know, just like you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love your energy. It's so gentle. Grace, tell me what we can, how we can reach you.
For me, just choosinggreater.com or Facebook.
Yeah. Thank you both so much for coming.
Pleasure. Bye.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Grace.